Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Okay, Adam, it is tech wreck time. What do you have for us this week?
All right, so I'm gonna try to figure out how to describe this without getting a particular political active party coming at me. So,
They'll come at you anyway. It's okay.
Here's the thing. Back in 2016, we had this election that was somewhat divisive, and I found that I couldn't handle Facebook during that time because for lack of a better term, I just lost a lot of respect for a lot of people. I'll just leave it at that. And we're gearing up. It's the same thing as it basically that's coming back. And I've decided that I want to retake Facebook a little bit for myself, like be able to actually use it some, not much, but some. So I've recently rediscovered the Facebook unfollow button, and that is my tech wreck to you all kind and generous people is that, listen, you don't have to unfriend them. And I don't unfriend people specifically because I feel like maybe someday I'll share something that might improve their lives in some way or help them to think more deeply on a subject. And I want that opportunity for them. But I don't need the opportunity for them to influence my life. And therefore, I will unfollow them and never see anything they post again, which is glorious. So I highly recommend unfollowing as many people as you possibly can on Facebook because it just makes your life better. And I don't recommend unfollowing people that you disagree with. I'm actually fine with following people I disagree with. My criteria for unfollowing people is if they're being a jerk on Facebook, and I'll just use the term jerk as opposed to what I really want to say. But if they're being a jerk on Facebook or they're posting things that I consider to be obnoxious or very unkind, those aren't people that I want to have anything to do with. If we can have a disagreement on politics or religion, whatever, that's fine. But if you're going to be unkind and obnoxious and self-centered about it, I don't need you. I don't need your content on my life, and I will unfollow you. So yeah, that's my nicest way of saying it. So the Facebook unfollow button, you should use it. You should use it liberally. It's very freeing. So
yeah, isn't there a similar thing on LinkedIn where you can stay connected but you don't see their updates or something?
I don't know. I'll have to look for that too. Oh, that might be my next week's tech wreck. All right. Oh, and I will say somebody did recommend. They're like, hey, you can snooze people on Facebook. I'm like, yeah. But it only snoozes for 30 days. I don't want to see these people's posts in 30. I don't want to see them ever again in my whole life. Like, I'm sorry. If you post a rebel flag, I don't ever want to see your update again. Ever. So
how about ever?
Ever? Do I need to keep going? I can keep going.
How about 5 years from now? 5 years from now?
No, I'm good.
Still
I'm
ever.
good.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Sanjay, what's your tech wreck?
I've got something a little bit more pedestrian than yours. Every now and again, you need to measure things around the house, and pulling out that metal tape measure thing.
It's all bendy and breaking and
then
terrible.
Whips back, and you end up you're afraid of like you're gonna take an eyeball or something. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Instead, the HOTO laser measuring tool, this little guy right here, is perfect for this.
Okay.
USB-C powered. It's got a battery on board. It's a laser measuring device with a little display on there that instantly tells you the distance from where you're measuring to where you're measuring to. Okay. And I got to say, I actually compared it against a actual measuring tape because I wanted to understand how accurate it was. Come on. Why are you laughing? You knew I was going to do that. You knew I was going to do that.
I love that. I love that about you, man. Because like I would have been like, yeah, that looks like 13 feet. And that would have been the extent of my testing right there. Like that's about right. And you're like, nope, let's see exactly how accurate this baby is.
It's all about the standards and weights and measures. And like, let's go to the NIST and make sure that this is dead on accurate. But this thing is great. And given the size of this thing, if you're watching the video, you can see how small this guy is. Yeah. It's super tiny. This guy cost me $40 when I bought it off of Amazon. If you use the link in the show notes, it's on sale right now for $30.
Dang.
Which to me is a fantastic deal. The battery seems to last forever. I barely ever recharge this guy.
Okay.
It just sits in my toolkit. And then if I ever need a measuring tape, I just pull this puppy out. What's great too about these is that when you've got a tall ceiling, like
Oh,
a foyer that's 2 stories, like you
Yeah.
can actually measure how tall that is without killing yourself trying to get a tape measure up there.
What is the first thing that you measured with that? That's what I want to know.
I don't know, probably like the width of some room or something. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I was just curious. So,
I use it around the house for like, making sure things are going to fit in the house.
Yeah.
And like we went through a house renovation and everything. And so just making sure I really understood, like plans are one thing. You got to measure the real life stuff of it. So this has been fantastic for that. So highly recommended. And just more in general, this company, HOTO, this is the only product I have from them. I think that's how you say their name. But they've got a number of other products that seem very, very well designed.
Okay.
Some of them don't have good reviews, so I'd be careful. But the great thing about Amazon is you can return it at any time. Well,
you can.
30 days. So
Love it.
Get those puppies and try it out and return it if you don't like it. So there you go.